Hello, my friends. This is Natasha, founder of On Purpose Projects, bringing you another quick video about how to create a high performance business website. Today's tip is about how to save yourself just drama and time and frustration, and something I see a lot of clients doing, which in my opinion is a huge waste of time. So something that happens to me often, like I would say a couple times a week, is I get somebody calling me looking for a quote. So they have an idea for a website, they have some preliminary concept of what they're looking for. And I know I've done this, you've probably done this, and they're like, "Can you give me a ballpark?" And and to me that is like a question that is such a waste of time that and my response is always, "Well, what are you looking for?" And they're like, "Well, maybe something like this or kind of like this, and we're thinking about maybe this." And then my next question is always like, "Okay, a ballpark based on what?" And they kind of stop, and I'm like, "What am I basing this on? Like, do you know what you need?" And they're like, "No." "Do you know how many pages your website's going to be?" "Well, no." "Do you know what kind of functionality requirement you're going to require to make this website do what you want it to do?" "Well, we want it to look like apple.com or whatever." I hear that all the time. And I'm like, "Do you have your content written?" "No." Um, do you have any sort of technical spec about scope and coding languages you need? And no. Well, ballpark price based on what? And if you're doing that, if you're a client and you're shopping for a ballpark, I just really want to advise you that that's a terrible idea. Um, Unless you know what you want specifically, anyone who sends you a quote is a big waste of your time because they're guessing. If I were to create a ballpark proposal based on what I was told or what I'm told all the time, like just some generalities, it is such a huge waste of my time because no one, they're not going to be able to count on that quote. They can't even use it. It's based on nothing. So they can't hold me to it. They can't budget around it. So it's a big waste of my time to even review it. It's a big waste of your time to even consider it as a legitimate proposal. And it just sort of it's just a overall, it's just why? Like I'm quoting based on nothing and you can't hold me to it. So why am I bothering? And some people will tell me like, "Oh, we're just trying to get a feel for, we're accepting multiple proposals right now." And in that case, I would really advise you that if someone who can quote a job based on nothing, do not hire that person. Because like I said, they're not going to be able to stand behind it. They're not going to be able to put it in writing. They're going to be wrong. So you as the client, if you want a dialed in quote that you can actually get someone to stand behind, you can submit to your team, submit to your boss. You have to do the due diligence to organize what you want. Anything else is just a proposal, is just guessing. Again, I've been in this business a long time. Most of the people I know run agencies, and we're all in the same boat that it's like garbage in, garbage out. You give me bad information about what to quote, I'm going to give you a quote that is not reliable. So you as the client, the only way you can get a quote that's informed as per price, informed as per deliverable schedule, okay, yeah, we can do that in 6 weeks or not, to know whether or not the person you're even talking to has the skills to do what you want, is to have a written game plan. I've seen this happen before where we get interviewed for something and we're going through it, and then they throw something in and I'm like, "We don't do that." And they didn't, they added it at the end. It's like, no, like that has to be in the beginning because I have to know, do we have the skills to do even what you're asking? Like, why would I submit a proposal if we can't even do it? So you making that plan is going to make it very clear to whoever you did it what you want so we can quote for price, what you want so we can quote for deliverables, what you want so we can see if we even have the bandwidth to handle it in terms of time. Do we even have the skills to do it? And you shopping for a ballpark is such, in my opinion, is such a waste of your time. It's not even worth doing. The best thing for you to do for your time is to not shop for a price until you have a plan. I guarantee it. That's the only way you're going to get some real numbers. So if you haven't already, head to the link below on my course. I have a course that's all about how to plan your project so you will get the right data. You will get an informed quote on what you're looking for, and just cut out all the confusion. Because what's going to happen is if you're shopping based on a general concept, you're going to get some quotes that might be $2,000 and you might get a quote that's $20,000. And it creates more confusion. You're like, well, which is it? Which one's right? And the answer is neither. Neither are right. They're both wrong because we're guessing. And that is not a good place to be when you're coming into your project and trying to create a budget. Do your due diligence, create a plan, and then and only then start to shop for the web people. You'll appreciate it. They'll appreciate it, and everything will go so much more smoothly. I'll talk to you tomorrow.